housing delivery system in Nigeria is also very poor, very fragmented. There are too many unskilled people building houses in Nigeria. Using brick and mortar is very slow. I don't know how many brick and mortar things you are going to put together to build 17 million houses. And for how many years? At this rate, in the next 200 years, Nigeria will not be able to build 17 million houses. Labor is very scarce in Nigeria. Why do Nigerians go to Togo and Benin Republic to go and bring in people who know how to do POP and know how to do the floors and tiles very well? Why do they do that? Yeah, because Nigerians do not have the skills those people have. Their cost will be higher than most other houses. An American can buy a house for $1 million, but he will spend $10 million to furnish it. He doesn't care too much about the exterior. He doesn't care about too much how the outside of the house looks like. But the inside has to be perfect. He's going to go and hire an interior designer, pays lots of money to get the interior perfect.
So this initiative came upon as a result of what? We want to empower Nigerians economically, and so at least the ability for every Nigerian to own a home. Say the first most important thing, housing is not a luxury, it's a necessity. So even if you have a roof over your head, you have achieved one major human necessity. Rescue mission to make home ownership and participation in the real estate sector of our economy more accessible to Nigerians. And that's why we're bringing all of this up. Every Nigerian should be able to own a home and walk into financial.
Edits. Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for her. You are welcome, ma'am.
Back to the basics, and that's why this is so dear to my heart. I've been in the housing industry over 22 years. I own a mortgage broker outfit, and we also have a real estate outfit outside of Nigeria. I have expertise in mortgages, I have expertise in Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. If it's on your credit, and she has a loan that she's not paying, it will report on your credit. So check your credit. It is only wise to do that. Make sure that your credit report is a true reflection of who you are, so that you don't get blown out of the market by something that wasn't even your fault. So if you ask for 10 million and they deny you, ask them, okay, what can I get? If they say for us you can only get 2 million, okay, go to the next bank. Just because a person says they're a lender does not mean they're a competent lender. Am I correct? Good.
Please, a round of applause for her. Can we give her a standing ovation? Barrister Augustine Edits. Sorry, Augustine Edits Esquire. That's so trying to find a barrister.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to thank the organizers of this program. The speaker had spoken broadly about the housing sector generally, as well as how to access mortgage financing and the various constraints in terms of the process of acquiring the property itself. And typically, this is governed by laws, and that is why a lot of the things that we'll be sharing this afternoon will be related to the law and the process, as well as the institutional framework for acquiring homes. To talk about the process for carrying that process perfection of both transfers as well as allocations of land, certificates of occupancy, and so on. I'll provide you with some resources, a list of professionals that you should relate with. My colleague has already done some of that, as well as a list of some of the institutions that you're likely to encounter when you're dealing with the acquisition of homes or housing. Credit report. You're going to buy a home,
going to get yourself pre-approved. All of this information.
You shouldn't really be buying with cash. It's an asset everywhere that the best way to fund is for people to take mortgages. Are people who are demanding houses, who have the demand of wealth, or who need houses in Nigeria. Types of mortgage banks. There is the state mortgage bank that has minimum capital of 2.5 billion. And there is the national mortgage bank that has minimum capital of 5 billion. 18, 19, 20%. All of you are offloading your money from deposits and going into treasury bills. It was the federal government that was borrowing. However, treasury bill rates have come down. The last bond issued by the Nigerian Mortgage Finance Company was issued at 13.5%. Foreclosure means I come and foreclose on your building. I call it resolution. We should resolve the issue. It's a resolution to ensure that both of us that have stake in this house resolve our problem and everybody walks away to go and restart somewhere.
I know we have gathered some information from Mr. Ben Akane, who is the CEO of Imperial Home Mortgage.
My name is Kazim Olariwaju Ibrahim, and I'm at the Home Buyers Workshop for Perfection Real Estate. I will be meeting experts and investors in the real-time real estate business. So stay tuned and watch out for more information we'll be getting.
My name is Adenike Fasanya Oshilaja, and I am an international housing consultant. Well, we believe that grassroots education is critical to the success of any government program, because that is what creates demand. So if an educated home buyer goes to the bank and demands for a product that is now based on good knowledge, and the bank is able to create a loan for that home buyer now based on good knowledge, and the builder is able to build a home for that home buyer now based on good knowledge. So all of a sudden, we are shifting the paradigm from a supply-based demand housing system to a demand-based supply system, so that you build to suit. Don't just build and then start looking for people to fit into that.
That looks like a sociological aspect to it, understanding.
Absolutely. Yes, exactly. Because remember, housing is a social issue. Housing is a social issue. Homelessness breeds crime. And then when they start to rob us, we start to call them names. We call them miscreants. We call them area boys. We call them thugs. We call them looters. Or the women, unfortunately, because I'm a woman, and that's very, very, important to me. We call them harlots, ashawo, this, that, the other. When in fact, the sociological reason is clear, and we just need the will to address it properly.
And I'm here with the president of Perfection Real Estate. Today we're the workshop. I would like to ask, what is the significance of this home buyers workshop to everyday Nigerian entrepreneur?
Well, the significance of this workshop is about educating Nigerians about the home buying process, because as a complete society, we are moving into housing, and we are delivering housing to our members and the majority of Nigerians. So we need education about the process of buying the home. That is why we organize a workshop like this, and probably will be frequent, to educate people on the buying processes, various avenues.
Like my president just said, we're trying to actually, educate people more concerning home buyers. Are you getting it? Now, what actually happened is that presently a lot of people are ignorant of how they can actually tap into funds and acquire a home for themselves. But you discover that some people, they are actually running away from getting loan from banks, even from individuals to acquire, you know, a property. But we established what we refer to as, you know, a lecture, a gathering that educates people on how they can actually source. They can source for, mortgage finance and use it to, you know, acquire their own property. And you know, it is very, very easy now because we have what we refer to as acquiring home with a zero down payment now, which the federal government have just actually, you know, started.
Okay.
I get what I'm saying. So based on that, you know, we want to try as much as possible to be one of the best pioneers, one of the people that are actually reaching to a large number of people that will, you know, bring in more people to listen and to get education in mortgage finance.
My name is Celestine Wanko. I'm a lawyer and the secretary of the Perfection Real Estate Investors Cooperative Society. In actual sense, the bottom line is affordability, because we discover that because of the nature of the segments of society, some people cannot be able to own the house of their own. And that is why God impressed it upon us as a cooperative to help not only our members, but the generality of Nigerians to own a property or house of their own. That forms our own concept of making mass production of houses, building of houses affordable for Nigerians. That's the reason why the cooperative on its own was formed on the first instance. Then we now are leveraging on some of the areas that the government is trying to see whether they can make this possible for Nigerians in this context. I just advise Nigerians to key into this opportunity for home ownership, right? Because this is one of the best times to buy into homes. There are several options, there are several avenues, all we need to understand is the circumstances and advise you the best way to get finance for your home. We also have collaborative efforts, which means that we team with other people to have a home. These are things that are made possible just for people to pay attention to what we are saying and then key into the advantages that we have. And before you know it, you are a homeowner.
Thank you.